Warning: the No AC Only Fans podcast may include content not suited for non-mature audiences who can't take a joke. We would like to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. Enjoy.
Welcome to the No AC Only Fans podcast, starring me, Christian Klein, and my co-host on my left, Big Crispy, aka Big Simpin', Tyler Gump.
What's going on, people?
How is everybody?
You know, I think we're doing pretty good. We got a special guest today. If you would like to go ahead and introduce her there for you.
A very special guest, my dear friend Amelia. She is a two-time Morgantown Stripper of the Year, and she is very good at beating up men.
Hey, guys.
What's going on? How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm living the dream, honestly. It's a fucking pleasure to be here.
Well, I'm glad that that's going on. I know you guys had some crazy story back in your Westfeed days and stuff, and I can't wait to hear. I'm going to let, Christian kind of command this one since he knows you really good, and I can't wait to hear these stories.
All right, so
Sounds good.
we're going to start. We're not going to say her name, but we're going to start with your one stripper friend. I think you know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
That one time, I'm trying to think. So we were at your house, right? And we were chilling.
Yeah.
And I kind of got whore vibes off of her, of course, but we were chilling there, and I went to go get a beer, right? In front of the fridge or whatever. And I think she was wearing a towel at the time. And she walks around the corner and gives me this little look and completely drops her towel. And I'm sitting there thinking I could work with this, but what are you trying to do? I ain't got no money.
Right. And without money, you were relatively useless.
Exactly.
Damn, that sucks. She gonna do that, drop it in front of you, and then demand payment?
I don't know what she was trying to do, but
It was like a tease. One time we ordered pizza, and the pizza man came to drop off the pizza. And she looked at me and she said, "You want to see something really funny?" And I was like, "Sure, I've got a good sense of humor. Let's do it." And she opened the door for the pizza man, naked. Nonchalantly took the pizza, asked him if he was interested in paying for anything. And when he said no, she closed the door with no tip for the pizza man.
Oh my God.
Damn. That's, we literally talked about this last episode, though.
Yeah.
No joke. That will be out, obviously, prior to this episode, but we are definitely going to release that here, actually, tomorrow, Monday, the 14th of December. So if you want to hear our pizza delivery experience that happened, and definitely go listen to that as well. But yeah, that's some crazy shit. I feel like that happens way more often than not. And I mean, if I was stuck in that situation, man, it'd be kind of hard. What the fuck are you supposed to do? You have to really love your job to not want to basically do anything.
Or maybe he was
100%.
broke.
Well, he just gave him a pizza. Get the pizza for free. That's all you got to do. Be like, you know what? I got mugged or some shit, and I lost the pizza. You can't charge them.
I mean,
Oh no, she was when Christian's calling her a stripper, I feel like maybe he should clarify that she was much more of a prostitute.
but she also stripped on the pole too. She did both things.
Oh yes, no, she was a stripper, but it was more of a way to find her clientele than anything else.
Oh, so
That makes sense.
that was her side hustle.
It was all a side hustle except for the prostitution.
Wait, wasn't she married
It was a
too?
regular occurrence for her. So she had a longtime boyfriend who was in jail at the time. So she
Big
was single
surprise.
herself. In her head, she was basically single because her man's was in jail. But she is married now and she has a kid, but she's still stripping.
Well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
She'll
to make
do
that
anything
bread.
for the right price.
Anything for the right price.
That's just wild to me because if you think about it, I mean, you see strip clubs get shut down all the time for that shit. Stormy Daniels.
Well, West Virginia, things fly a lot. Things fly down there.
Right.
In
but
West
I mean,
Virginia, things are awful. The strip clubs don't really have rules. I mean, the last strip club I worked at, well, not the last strip club I worked at, but the one in Morgantown, the owner still owes me $3,000. And I mean, like, he owes other girls like thousands of dollars more than that.
God, is this
So,
the one
like-
with the free bus rides? No wonder they owe you money.
What was it? H2O?
Yeah,
That
it
you
was
were talking
H2O
about
that gave me
the
the free bus rides for New Year's Eve.
So then, yes, it's the same strip club we're talking about.
That's why they can't pay you. They're shelling out all this money for
Yeah.
gas.
I know. Literally, actually, they couldn't pay us because the owner of the strip club took all the money that all the girls made from this one guy. He was like a trust fund baby, I guess is what they're called. So he came in on his 21st birthday with his brand new trust fund connected to his card, and he spent over like $60,000.
Oh my
shit.
God.
And the owner took the money and took his girlfriend to the beach and proposed to her
Wow.
with our money.
That's so fucked up. That's bad business ownership right there.
Oh, I mean, he's pretty much awful, but anybody that listens to this podcast that's from Morgantown will know who I'm talking about, because recently, like a couple weeks ago, I saw a meme about him posted. Well, it was like a picture that was taken from downtown Morgantown, and they were posting like these little like flyers, you know, like typically it's like help wanted or like missing kind of a thing, but it was talking shit about the owner
Oh my
and
God.
about
so
all the money
fucked
he
up.
owes people. So he's still just out here scheming.
So he still
sure.
owns that strip club and like runs it in Morgantown?
I want to say, as far as I know, yes. I even think he might have bought a club in PA, but I'm not sure about that one, so don't quote me too much. on
Hey,
that.
we need to find this man and get our girl's money back.
For real.
If anybody knows who we're talking about, let's do it.
Good, straight up good luck. This man is a fool. He is a fool. He lost all of his employees except for the one very nasty girl that Christian and I were referring to earlier.
Oh, damn.
Um,
That's pretty sad.
It's bad. It's rough.
That
I
reminds
definitely
me.
don't. PSA to all the girls in Morgantown: don't go work for anyone at H2O strip club. Don't do it.
You heard
Save
it here
yourself.
first, guys.
I know it's like breaking news. I mean, you got to treat your women right or they ain't going to want to work for you. That's simple, you know? Any strip club owner should know that, because next thing you know, you're going to end up being like the old strip club over there on Treview Road. Nobody's going to want to go there after eventually, you know? You can't have no clientele. What are you supposed to do? You going to get up on the pool and start stripping?
I hope not.
It would be a fucking sight. I do think that women deserve a men's strip club.
Hell
I just want
yeah.
to say that. Like, why aren't there more Chippendales around here? Because I would go and I'd throw some dollars at some half-naked men happily.
Hey, I mean, I agree with that. I could see that being more of a common thing. It should be for real, but I also think you guys get I get you make tips and stuff, and you do make a lot of money sometimes on the good nights, but I also think you guys are underpaid for some of the shit you do.
Especially
We're
what they're doing at West
underpaid
Virginia
and we're
clubs.
stigmatized.
Exactly. That's the worst part. I mean, like, you're basically having disgusting ass people fucking drool over you all night and touch you and shit like that. Like, you don't want to deal with that shit.
There are men that would come into the strip club and literally assume we were prostitutes. It was fun. Like, we had bouncers for a reason. And like, typically we make the men sit on their hands so they can't touch us. And we would go through all these extra steps to make sure we were safe. But I don't think enough people go to strip clubs thinking like, okay, like, it's sex work. Like, the whole point is like to entertain you, but we're not porn stars. We're not here to fuck you. Like, we're like a museum. Like, you come in and you look and you admire,
Look, but you don't
fucking
touch.
us. Yeah, but not enough people realize that when they go to strip clubs. And also, there's just so many stigmas. And I'm not hating on OnlyFans. I'm here for OnlyFans. I'm here for my OnlyFans girls. But there are a good amount of girls, though, that give us the bad reputation that we have, hence the stripper that Christian and I were discussing earlier. She is the reason why strippers like her are the reason why we have a bad rep, because there's girls on OnlyFans like Bella Thorne that got on there to like screw everyone over. But like, a lot of those strippers are actually just really nice, kind people that are good at talking to people. A lot of men don't come into the strip club for pussy. They come in to have someone to talk to because they're motherfucking lonely.
Yeah, or their wife sucks or some shit like that. I mean, I've seen it before. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I got suckered in a conversation with one. You know, she told me her whole life story basically about all her kids and shit like that. But she was a really cool person, and like you got to come in at an understanding level. If you're coming in thinking, "Oh, I'm just gonna get fucked tonight," you just don't even go to the strip club.
It ain't gonna happen, buddy.
Go find somebody walking on the street corner or some shit like that in a major city. You know, don't go to the strip club thinking that they're just gonna fuck, because that's not how it goes. Like you said, that's just ridiculous that people think they can get away with whatever they want whenever they want.
But I don't even want to blame all the people as much as I blame some of the girls that dance, mainly because they prostitute and they do all that extra shit. But also they make it seem like it's such a glorious lifestyle. Like stripping is so amazing. And I mean, like, hell fucking right, it pays bills. And that's awesome. But like the mental health and issues that come with that aren't always worth it. And because they try and make it seem so cool, they get all these other people to get into it, and they make it seem so sexy and like everything's just perfect. So then all these men like get off on thinking that that's what it is. And all these girls just go to the strip club to please you. And we don't really care about 9 out of 10 of the people that walk in there.
Well, duh, you just care about them dollar bills.
Literally. I mean, and I'm like one of those girls, when I was in the strip club, I couldn't do it sober. I couldn't even get on stage sober. I was super self-conscious. I was like very insecure with my body. Now I've gained a lot of weight and I think I should be insecure now. But at the time I was in perfect shape. I just didn't realize it. But I was paranoid. I was like, oh, I'm ugly. All these men. I'd get on the pole and I'd start doing all these flips and I'd start sweating. And I'd get paranoid. I'd be like, oh shit. So like there's a lot of girls that we do this because literally for the money. We don't even want to talk to the people. Just throw some money on us on stage and then leave us alone afterwards. But the stigmas that come with it, they're just not worth it, which is actually why I got into like selling my pictures and stuff. It's because I didn't want to have to keep going in there and seeing all these men face to face. I was like, oh, you just want to see me naked? You'll pay me hundreds of dollars for that?
Bet.
Here's a pic.
I mean, that's some crazy shit for real. Like, do you ever have any like crazy ass stories from like private dances or anything? Like, anybody just say some really obscure shit? Like, just like make you kind of take a step back and be like, what the fuck am I doing?
I mean, I've got my good and my bad stories. I had a phase when I was in the strip club that I wanted my nipples pierced. Okay. I didn't do it, but I wanted them. I was convinced that it was the move for me. It's like all the hot bitches have them pierced. I'm going to get mine done. So I asked the customer while I was giving him a lap dance one day. So my tits were right there in his face. And I was like, should I get them pierced? He like looked at me like very serious. And he's like, stop dancing. And I stopped dancing. He's like, stand up, like do a twirl. And I did a twirl. And he said, you know, you don't put bumper stickers on a Bentley. You know?
Oh, shit.
I was like, you know, man, that's the best advice I've ever been given on this. And I haven't thought about getting my nipples pierced really since. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't really need to do that. The man convinced me. But then I also had I had a bouncer that was obsessed with me at the club I worked at, and it was his birthday. So my boss let him get really fucked up. And so he bought like 8 dances from me back to back. But he didn't want to dance. He didn't want to lap dance. He let me know, Amelia, that's not necessary. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. He's like, but let's talk. I really like you. I'd like to take you out on a date.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
And so for about 2 hours, I got paid to sit and talk to my bouncer for 2 hours and tell him it was never going to happen.
I mean, I guess that's the best form of payment you can get right there. You really didn't do a lot of work. What was probably the most?
Literally.
Have you ever had like a super large amount? Like one person came and like asked for multiple songs and shit like that?
Oh, I had one customer come in and buy me out for the night.
Damn.
I was gonna say, what the fuck? How does that work?
Well, he paid probably about $5,000.
How does one go about doing that? I'm just kidding.
He paid about $5,000, and I walked out of there with about $2,500, maybe $2,600, I think it might have been. And
Jesus,
he was like really nice. I was in Pittsburgh. I was dancing at this club called Controversy in Pittsburgh. Shout out Controversy. But if you're in Pittsburgh, go to Spearmint Rhino. Do not go to Controversy for a strip club. Okay, but so he like bought me out for the whole night. It was like 3 or 4 hours worth, and I was like, okay, cool, man. And then he just kept buying me drinks. I'm a captain girl, so he just kept buying me drinks. And then we were just like sitting and chatting. He didn't want to lap dance either. He just wanted someone to talk to. He was another lonely man. And I'm intelligent. I'm an English major. So conversation that's what you're here for. I'm your gal. And he decided right. So he decided he thought I was bored. He like looked at me. He's like, "You bored?" And I was just like, "No, I'm having a great time." He's like, "You know what? I think you're bored. Go grab a couple friends. I'll pay for their nights too."
Damn.
I was like, "Okay, cool." And so I went, and I'm still friends with both of these girls. But I'm gonna use one of their like initials. So I call this one girl D. She'll know who she is. And then I'm gonna use the other girl's stripper name because I don't want to do too much there. But Pixie was the other girl, and I grabbed them both. I said, "You want to just come hang out with me and like get drunk with me for the rest of the night for free?" And they're like,
no
"What?"
to that?
I was just like, right. I was like, "Yeah." Like he said he'd pay for you guys if you want to come back and hang out. They're like, "Yeah." So it was just like me and D and Pixie just twerking and hanging out with each other, like with each other. Like he was just having a good time, like sitting over there on his phone watching us. Yeah, I mean, like I'm here for the simps. I gotta say.
Oh,
I love a good
boy. You would love Big Crispy.
See, the way my bank account works, my checkings and my savings, I gotta transfer some funds.
Well, so Big Crispy, I heard you like gingers. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm a sucker for redheads. I cannot lie about that.
Yeah. So I got this redhead friend. She's real fine. She got a big old ass, big titties.
Ooh.
Let me know. She just made an OnlyFans. I can.
Oh,
hook you
she
up.
just made an OnlyFans. Is that true?
Yeah, she literally just made it. Like
My
just
penis
made
is
it.
tingling
So
right now.
get on that.
Hey, maybe it just might happen. I don't know. Shit. It's hard to resist a good redhead. I ain't gonna lie.
Facts.
I
Oh
don't
boy.
like redheads. I don't like blondes either, though.
I'm not the biggest fan of blondes
Yeah,
myself.
I don't understand that. Blondes, I think, are way too overhyped nowadays. Everybody's a blonde.
What was that sorority at West Virginia where it was all fucking stuck up blonde bitches? Like what was it? Fuck app.
I want to say AO Pie, but
No. That's AO Pie's AO Pie Burgers and Fries.
pies, burgers, and fries. Fuck. Oh, they're gonna hate me. I'm a feminist, y'all. I do recognize your all's name as that. I'm not hating on your sorority.
Remember?
Okay. Was it Alpha Phi or Alpha Phi?
Yeah. Alpha Phi. Yo,
Listen, I was friends with some girls before they joined that, and then after they joined that, they were like, "We don't like you now," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Dude, speaking of that, I heard to get into that sorority. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that they fucking put you in the basement and make you strip down, and they like circle all your imperfections and shit. Like I'm not joking, with a fucking magic marker.
That is one
That's
way to make
fucked
somebody
if that's fucking
insecure.
true.
Yeah.
Shit, did you see the girls in that fucking sorority? I wouldn't be surprised.
I couldn't imagine. Sororities are supposed to be about like sisterhood and like family and blood and shit, like the blood you get to choose. So I couldn't imagine wanting to join a sisterhood that makes fun of all your. That's fucked. That's fucked. I'd rather join a frat, and I was there for a hazing, and that shit was awful. And I'd rather join a frat.
Yeah, my buddy, he had to eat a shit sandwich.
No, he fucking did not.
Yes, he did.
Human shit are like dog
No,
shit.
I think it was a cat shit.
Oh, dude, that's fucking disgusting. Oh my god. I don't know if I could deal with that, bro. That's fucked up. It's not even like, what's the big hype between sororities and frat houses and shit? Because it's really not all that.
You're basically
it looks
paying
good on
for
your
friends.
applications. Yeah, it looks good on applications. It can help you get jobs because, like, maybe the manager of this Fortune 500 company was a
He's a brother.
Sigma Phi. That's a fucking frat.
That's my brother.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
literally, and that's how they do it. Like, I know like people that will be in a sorority and then they'll like meet so and so's mother and they'll be like, "Oh my god, I was in that sorority," and then they do like a little handshake. And I'm like, that's fucking weird that you're 60 and you're 22 and you guys know the same fucking handshake.
It's like a fucking like a little cult.
I was gonna say, we're basically creating lifetime
Secret
cult
society.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
No, it's awful.
Anyway, back to the stripper story because I got to bring this up. Okay. So, your ex-roommate.
Mhm.
I have not told Tyler about this. It's the first time he's hearing about it. So, one of my lonely nights.
There's many of those.
We ain't gonna talk about that. But anyway, so I go in there. It's my first time going into this club, by the way. H2O, as we were talking about earlier. So, I go in there. I get super faded. And of course, I get me a lap dance. Of course, why not? I'm there, right? So, the girl gives me a lap dance. You know, whatever. I didn't think anything of it. I had a good night. I went home. So, I'm hanging with one of my good friends. This is like the next week. And so we go to this little house party. I'm just now meeting this group of friends, right? So this guy comes in, he's talking, he's like, yeah, my girlfriend will be here soon. Blase, you know, whatever. All right, shit, I'm down to meet whoever. Guess who comes walking through the fucking front door? The girl who gave me a lap dance. But it doesn't stop there.
Oh, shit.
I kind of ruined her night. Because you know how I get. You talked about this in the first episode. I like to talk my shit when I drink.
Exactly.
And so, we were literally, everybody was outside chilling. And I was like, hey, I feel like I recognize you from somewhere. And she's like, what do you mean? I don't think I've ever seen you before. Like, you could tell she was like, you know, like
doing the yeah.
Don't say that shit.
Cut it off.
Cut it. Cut that shit right now. And I'm like, I didn't take the cue very well. And I'm like, didn't you give me a lap dance last week? And and the fucking boyfriend didn't know she worked there. She was trying to hide it.
Oh, God.
When I saw his face, it was fucking priceless. And then, like, she got so pissed off at me. But, like I said, it ended up being her roommate. And she literally, like, later on, she was like, you had to tell him. Like, why did you have to say that? Like, I was trying to keep that a secret. I'm like, I didn't fucking know. I didn't know it was some secret. Shit.
Poor bastard. I mean, what would you do if that was your girlfriend and you found out that way?
It probably wouldn't be good.
It was dishonest of her. I'm not going to even say that that was Christian's fault, because there's a lot of girls that think that they're going to somehow keep this shit a secret. And like, it's not a secret you can keep. I had stopped working at the strip club years ago. And back when I was like at my last job I had held in Morgantown, I had people come up to me and they would look at me and they'd be like, oh my God, Lucy. And everybody would look the fuck around like, who is this crazy person talking to? And then you'd see me like, hey, how are you?
I mean, there was only
Jasmine?
2 strip clubs.
Literally. And there weren't a lot of strippers. There really weren't. And I can say that as someone that was called and asked to come in every other day because we didn't have enough fucking girls on the schedule. When you stripped in Morgantown, it was like a very taboo almost thing to do. Like, you were definitely going to be judged for it. You were put into a group and things were automatically assumed.
But that was the group I was always trying to hang out with, though.
Oh, I know. I remember when Rebecca had been like, yeah, like, my friend Christian, he just likes music, really. He just kind of sits in the corner and gets drunk and likes music. And I'm like, no, that sounds awesome. Like, he sounds like a cool person. And then I meet Christian and I'm like, Christian, hi, a pleasure. And he just blasts some Black Bear, you know, and I'm bopping along with him. Actually, Christian's one of the people that gave me one of my stage songs.
Oh, there you
Wanderlust by Black Bear.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I used to dance to that. That was one of my 3 songs that I danced to every single time for my first set was Wanderlust by Black Bear. And that's your fault. I mean, like, but it was your fault. But after you came over, I was like, oh, this guy's so cool. Like, at times, like, Christian, and he only lived like down the road from me. So at times he'd hit me after I'd hit him up and be like, let's hang. And we'd just like kind of like, well, he'd always show up with some sort of alcohol. And I'd always and I'd always have something to smoke. So I'd be sitting there smoking and he'd be drinking. And then I remember randomly, like, when you had seen Tori, I was like, what the fuck? How do they know each other? And then Tori was like, yeah, I know. That little discussion in front of me. And I like finally understood. I was like sitting there like nodding my head like, oh shit. Oh shit.
Wait, she didn't hate me, did she?
No, but I definitely think there were more comfortable situations for her to be in.
Yeah, you're right.
I definitely think that she was sitting there like, this motherfucker. You can't, no disrespect, but any girl that, I have friends that like danced for a much longer time than I even did, and they thought that they were going to keep it from their families. I know some girls that have danced and then stopped dancing and have still kept it a secret. But
you're not going to do it in a small town, though.
Oh, no, these people lived in small towns.
Oh,
these
really?
People lived in small towns too. Yes, Christian, you just tend to, like you said, be bad at reading fucking situations. And I think, like, because you were the one that ratted Tori out, I think she has the right to be a little salty with you, because in the back of her mind, it is your fault. That could have been a secret that went to the grave with her.
Oh, that, or I could have just been like, I should have like made friends with the guy and be like, hey, trying to go to H2O tomorrow night?
What a dick.
You're an ass. That's fucking hilarious.
No, but she was cool with me later on, though. Like, she was always pretty cool.
But that's
she is a very relaxed person.
That's one of those things you can't hide, though. I mean, you think about it nowadays with OnlyFans, and you have all these platforms like Reddit and shit like that. There are people out there that hide it, but I'm sure eventually someone's going to know you a little too well, you know, be searching around, and they just stumble across something. And then they end up putting two and two together, and then they find you out.
Yeah, or you just tell the wrong person your secret and have them spread it. Christian.
But I mean, in my defense, I didn't know it was supposed to be a secret. Like, there was literally 2 strip clubs in town. And you're working on a Friday night. Come on now. Somebody's going to see you. We all, okay.
Right, I mean, like, 100%.
If people don't know how Morgantown works, like, literally, you would see these same people at every fucking big party. I swear to God, like, these same exact people. It's like...
It was like seeing everyone everywhere. You're like, are you following me? Who do you know here? Like, name your friends, and I'll see who I know from the group.
It was like...
And you always knew a few.
You were friends with somebody in everybody's circle. You knew at least one person in everybody's circle.
What would have been 100%. Worse, though? What would have been worse if, like, you told her and her boyfriend finds out, obviously? Or what if her boyfriend lied to her one night, said, I'm going to call it early, I'm not feeling well, goes out to the strip club, and she's dancing. Would that have been worse? You know, I mean, like, you put 2 and 2 together, what if he ended up catching her?
Well, 2 wrongs don't make a right. So, I mean, they both would have been wrong. So, that probably would have been a bigger argument.
Exactly. They both would have been
I think it would have been hilarious, though.
That
would have been the funniest situation. I feel like you always got to go with with the situation that has a little bit of comic relief in it. I want to say. That's just my opinion, though. I feel like you always need something to laugh about. Like, what are the fucking odds? Kind of a thing.
So I've been hearing this little here and there about this person named Ricky. Can we touch up into this subject? I want a context on this because from what I've heard, this is pretty out there, you know.
Well, I don't even know if that's a real name. Is that her stage name or what?
That's her real name.
Oh shit. Well, we'll bleep that out or something.
No. We're going to keep it. I mean, we've said real names the whole time, so fuck
I guess that's the first name. That's the only name. But if somebody from Westby, you know, recognizes it, then it is what it is.
If they're from Morgantown, they'll know exactly who she is.
Oh, yeah, they will.
Even parts of PA will know her.
We done exposed this girl. I'm sorry.
I mean, we kind of have talked about her a little bit the whole time.
Yeah, we already discussed a few things.
Yeah.
So what was this crazy story or some shit? I just have to hear it.
Okay, I'll tell it. I had gone out to get something. I had left my house, and my roommate was there.
Toy.
And yes, so essentially, at the time, there were 3 strippers at the house, if you include me having left it at the time. because I was letting Ricky stay at my house because she had to commute to get to and from work. And
Which
I
job?
had left to get... I was a bartender, you fucker. Bartender for the last 5 years, you asked.
No, I was
as
talking
well
about
as
her
ran
because she
sometimes.
has 2 jobs technically, right?
No, she had just been out. I think she ran out to get like whippets or something.
Oh, boy.
Whippets?
I want to say it was for whippets.
Big
I don't think
surprise.
I have not heard of anybody do whippets
Oh
in a
my
long
God.
time.
You haven't heard of anyone doing whippets? Oh,
No,
they're
in just a
working
long
on it.
time. Like it's not a common thing that you hear about.
I remember Amelia knows some things about whippets.
Yeah. I don't even know how to expand on that.
You and Rebecca.
I remember one time Becca looked at me and she was like, "Oh my God, you're like Steve-O, you're addicted." And I was like, "What?" I was so insulted. Appalled. I was like, "Oh my God, I am not fucking addicted to whippets."
Continue with the story. I have to hear this shit.
Well, so she had left for something and I had left for something, but we were both supposed to meet back at the house. And I get into the door and Tori looked at me and had said something like, "You're not going to be happy." And I was like, "What do you mean? I'm not going to be happy?" And she was just like, "If I was you, I would go up to your room, but like stay calm," or something to the likes of that. She was like, "I said,
I know you didn't take that too well.
No, I did not. I mean, I was pretty fucking pissed, but also like, how terrifying is it? Okay, hold on. Let me just get to the story. So I'm like, okay. So I walked my ass upstairs and laying on my bed was Ricky and she was getting herself off. And this guy that was much older.
How old is much older?
I want to say like mid-60s.
Oh.
Okay. Was jacking off to her playing with herself while she was laying on my
And he
bed.
busted on your bed, didn't he?
Oh, yes, he did.
You're gonna have to get a whole
Yes,
new
he
mattress,
did.
baby.
Yeah,
It
that
was awful. It was absolutely awful. And so then, like, have been told I'm known for my patience and for my understanding. So I embraced that in that moment. And I sat down with her after, of course, I made her get this man out of my fucking house. Because I was like, "Sir, you're going to have to go." I was like, "No. You're gonna
Did he
have to
ever buy any panties?
He was the guy that kept coming back.
We'll touch
kept
into
showing
that
up
a
to
little
my
bit.
fucking house.
We'll touch that into a
was-
little bit, yeah.
He showed up to my house like 3 or 4 times looking for her. And if she wasn't there, so he'd be like, "Well, can I buy anything from you? I got $60.
What you
Can I
got in
buy
the
a bra?"
inventory? What can I get for
Right, like,
60?
"What can I get from you?" And he it always had to be worn. It always had to be worn.
Take
so
that
you just
shit
like
off
go
you
to
got
your
on
dirty
right
clothes
now.
pile. Yeah, you just go to your dirty clothes pile and find like the oldest pair of underwear you own. Maybe
You should have been like
few
a
rips.
You can get the 2 for 2 deal. I worked out in I worked out in these. These are an extra $10.
I thought about. I literally, had I known if the guy, and I mean, like, eventually after like the 3rd time, he like followed me like a block home, and like at one time he had like I had been walking down Main Street, like High Street of
Oh my
Morgantown,
God.
and he saw me and yelled at me from his truck, "Hey, when are you going home? Is your friend there?" And I was like, "This is weird. This is so fucking weird." But like the first 2 times he had shown up, Tori had been there. So it was like less weird because she was there like, "Yeah, I can give him one of these and you can give him one of these." And I was like, "All right, bet." Like we split the
My
money.
question
We called it
is-
a fucking bet.
Did Tori's boyfriend know she was selling panties too, or should I have brought that up?
Oh, I'm sure she had to have told them, but she, like, when I lived with her, I do remember like a multitude of men. Not like a lot of men. I'm not calling her a whore. I'm not saying she was out or brought someone home every night. But like, I think she had like 2 different-ish boyfriends. I lived with her for like 2 years, though, I would have said.
Well, then why the fuck was she mad at me? Did I pick
Because
the
obviously,
favorite
he
boyfriend?
been her potential husband. You ruined a potential husband for her.
Oh
These other men,
my
she got to,
God.
like-
I wouldn't go to that extremes. If he really loved her, he wouldn't have cared she was a stripper. He probably would have
No, I don't
said,
agree
"You're
with
paying
that.
the rent this month, baby."
I don't agree with that. I think men are allowed to have a say in whether. Okay, so let me ask you all this. Actually, would you guys date a girl with an OnlyFans?
No, probably not.
Right, I didn't
It
think so. But
depends.
Crispy,
I think it
On what?
depends. On how how public it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, I agree.
her.
I agree. We talked about this in the first episode.
Like, is her face plastered all over the OnlyFans, or is it kind of like hidden and we
Do I get to be a part of it without my face in it? Kind of like Adam 22 is with Lena the Plug?
Exactly. Like, can I show off a little bit, or am I like a background player?
Okay, that's interesting.
If she's making hella bread, I'd be like, baby, let me get the video camera. You could pay the rent this month. Can I get a new car, baby?
Yeah, but if she was making hella bread, that would mean she was like majorly public. She'd be like in top however many percentage of creators.
Yeah, but is there top creators out there that don't show their face?
Probably not.
No, there's not.
I mean,
I highly doubt it.
I think if I don't know, it just depends at that point. I guess it would depend on I mean, at the end of the day, you're still coming home to that, right? Nobody else is. So
right.
It's like,
I mean, a lot of girls, and this is the thing that fucks me up. A lot of girls that do OnlyFans or that strip are fucking faithful. They are good girls. I'm still really good friends with a lot of people. I know girls that would go to the strip club to make money so they could open up their gym for their pole fitness classes. Like, there are a lot of genuinely productive, loyal, trustworthy girls out there that have just gone to make a buck or two and are aware that they are attractive and profit off that, but not in a, I'm going to play you, I'm going to play with your feelings, I'm going to make you think this, or I'm going to give you this much extra in return for it. But that's the thing. So, I mean, I understand what you guys are saying like it would depend on how popular she is and like what's plastered all over it. But at the same time, a lot of men that go to strip clubs to see girls, I mean, Ricky had a boyfriend for the majority of the time. She was a dancer, and men liked her because, I mean, yeah, she did that extra shit.
But maybe, just maybe, let me put this out here. Maybe it was like Tori's situation. Maybe he didn't know.
He knew. He was one of my bouncers.
Oh, shit. Never mind.
My question is, touching back on that story, did she not have her own bed and own bedroom she could have done that in? Why your bed?
No, she was just staying there at the time.
Oh,
okay. She was just staying there. She used to drive like an hour and a half every day or every weekend to get to and from work. So she would stay with me for the weekend. But like that all ended after, I guess one night she had made like over $1,000 or something. $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 or something.
She better pay the rent that month.
She came back to stay with me, and like two of our bouncers came back to basically just like kind of party and get fucked up, do some shit we shouldn't do, nothing sexual, but like drugs and stuff. I'm referring to drugs that I can't mention, I don't think ever. And just like basically have a good time. And I guess one of the bouncers robbed her or something.
Oh,
that's
or
shit.
maybe part of me thinks maybe she spent it, but I'm not entirely sure. She was very fucked up. But like she was missing like $400 or something, and she like looked at me and accused me of robbing her when she had over a stack on her. And I was like, girl, I would have robbed.
I would have robbed. You would have got. I would have took it all.
That's my thing as well, though. Like, speaking about the whole selling panties thing, doesn't that get expensive after a while? Because depending on obviously where you're buying your shit. I mean, like, I've been to Victoria's Secret, obviously, you know, with past relationships and shit like that. That shit gets expensive sometimes, especially if you're buying bras and shit like that. Like we said earlier, you know, it's like $70, $80 for some of their fucking bras and shit, and like fucking $10, $20 a piece for fucking panties. If you're selling them from a premium, I guess that makes sense. But
like when you're making like $600 minimum a day doing extra shit, like you have sex with one person and you make $400, and then you go to the club and you make $1,400. Going out and spending, I mean, like panties aren't that expensive. Bras are a bitch, but panties aren't that expensive. If like a girl wants to go to Victoria's Secret and do like a 5 for $60 deal or something, that's 5 pairs of panties. And if you're smart, I guess, like Ricky considered herself to be, then you could sell them for $60 a fucking pop.
Right. I mean, I guess that makes sense. They do have sales quite often.
Oh yeah. And I mean, like you make a substantial amount. Like the men that do this stupid shit, I know so many men are probably going to listen to this shit and be like, I would never be caught fucking dead doing this stupid shit. And like, that's great. Like, a lot of men don't do it, but there are like literally simps out there that like get off on being treated like shit and being used and stuff. Like,
you got me fucked up.
it's fucked up. There's like this fetish, and it's called financial. It's like some, I don't even know what the fucking
financial
term of it
domination or some shit. I think I've heard of this.
How the hell do you know?
No. I've dabbled in the fetish
Oh,
world. I'm not
sure.
gonna say that's not obviously not a thing, but I'm aware of some of these fetishes. Okay, we'll
God, I'm learning some new things about you, Big Crispy.
Well, in that first episode, I did listen to how good of a time he had at the strip club. So
he did buy 5 lap dances, he said.
yeah, you got finesse, my man.
I did get finesse, but I was also fucked up, and that was my first time there. But like I said, that other strip club, $1 lap dance, that was the best deal I've ever come across.
You ain't getting a good lap dance for $1.
I don't know. You put that dollar in your collar, she'd do some things.
Yeah, she'll definitely do some things, all right.
You can't.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, so let me tell you guys this story. Actually, this is really quick. This is funny. I have this friend that used to work at the strip club with me. And there was this man that thought he was going to, I guess, try and fuck her. And she was like not aware that this was a crazy customer. She thought she was just going to give him a lap dance, right? But she was on her period.
Oh,
okay?
boy.
And I guess while she was giving him the lap dance, the tampon fell out.
Oh, my God. He got blood all over him. Oh, man.
I guess it was like her first day of her period or something. So like, I guess the tampon got full and it just, like all the pressure from moving her muscles and the contraction and shit, it like popped her tampon out on his lap. And he got so pissed that he had tried to shove the tampon back into her.
Oh, my God.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
He's probably,
I know. I don't understand.
He's probably
But
wondering why
she
he was smelling
thought-
catfish.
She thought the tampon. You're an ass. She thought the tampon was his finger.
Oh.
Because obviously the tampon's expanded. You probably don't understand this, but like it's gotten bigger, so it's not going to just slide in like it's supposed to. So she thought it was his finger. She thought he was like trying to get some with her. So she ended up calling the bouncers, and the bouncers beat the shit out of this guy.
Damn.
And then afterwards, she went in there to like collect her like clothes that she had taken off during the beginning of the lap dance, and she found her tampon on the floor.
Oh my God. Well, guys, that's the dick of the day. I think we just heard it.
I mean, I went to the strip club one time with my buddy. This is kind of a funny story. And I'm not saying it happens, obviously, but he went into a private dance with the girl, and he came back out, and he's a specific person, okay? He's into some things that women like quite often. Well, he comes out, and
what is that?
I ain't gonna touch on it. He may be
But yeah, I feel like I need it clarified.
He may be a cowboy, let's put it that way, and he does some bull riding shit like that. And they find that, some women find that a little ridiculous. And he came out, and I'm talking the biggest fucking wet spot I have ever seen on his leg. Like, bad. And I'm like, bro, your fucking jeans are just soaking wet, like on his thigh, basically. And he goes, yeah, she was wet as fuck. She went into the bath. He said that she basically told him that she had to go to the bathroom and wipe her shit out because she was so fucking wet. And she tried to come home with us that night. She was trying so hard to go home with him.
Oh, God, you just reminded me of a strip club story I have that happened to me lately. Well, not lately, but like within the last 6 months.
Oh, I gotta hear this because you don't like to go to the strip club.
Oh, I never said that.
The strip club in the last month?
I don't like to go to the strip clubs here.
I mean,
okay, so the guy that we know that we were talking about in the first episode that likes the bigger women that falls in love fast because he ain't got a place to stay. So he hits me up. He's like, on this day he had money somehow. I don't know how. probably illegal ways, but that's besides the point. But anyway, he's like, all right, let's go to the strip club. I said, I ain't paying for no damn strip club. He goes, I don't give a shit. I got you. I'm like, you got me? What? Did you win the fucking lottery? Anyway, so we go to the strip club, right? And he pays for me a dance. I get a dance from some girl. She wasn't really that attractive.
You didn't choose your dancer?
I mean, no, he did.
That's fucked up. See, if I'm in there, I'm choosing who I want to dance. You got to pick out the one that suits your needs.
He probably got the one that was the cheapest price.
No.
I'm pretty sure they have a set
honey,
price.
That's not how
I was going to
works.
say, I'm pretty sure they have a set price.
Well, anyway, it was a fucking horrible selection.
Well, that's what he's into, not what you're into.
No, he wasn't into this either. She was an African American girl, and I don't think he likes African American girls, but whatever. I don't know. Anyway, she wasn't that bad looking. I mean, I didn't have a bad time. But anyway, she gave me a lap dance, and she whips out her titty. She goes, suck on it. I'm like, what? This shit has never happened to me before. I'm like, what? She's like, just suck on it. Well, of course I had to do it. I mean, I didn't say no, like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, shit.
She's a prostitute.
Big Crispy wouldn't have said no to that.
Hey, I might not have ate that day, and I might have gone a little too hard.
Got him all hot and bothered. But it totally floored me because I was like, yo, what the fuck is going, like, why does
Was there
crazy
a
shit always
bouncer?
happen to me? Wait, what?
Was there like a bouncer anywhere around you?
No, only at the front door. No, they don't sit there and watch you.
Strip clubs
You were
in
in a
Ohio are
brothel.
weird.
I was-
Basically.
Dude, it was a brothel. You were at a brothel.
No, I
If
wasn't.
you had a private room with no one watching you, you were at a brothel.
I mean, that's what
Because the
happened to
strip
me
clubs-
at that strip club. A lot of the strip clubs in Ohio only have a bouncer at the door, to be honest.
Yeah. But they don't get fully naked, though. They wear
Oh.
pasties.
Which fucking blows.
Then how'd you suck the bitch's nipple?
Why did I suck the bitch? Why did I?
How?
Rip-
Did you take the pasty
you take
off,
her
or was
No,
pasty
there?
off?
she took it off, not me. This was she wanted it.
She wanted, okay.
She literally whipped it in my face and said, suck on this. I'm like, oh, shit, don't ask me twice.
Mama. That's just fucked up. Okay, so what happened after that?
I mean, that's really the end of the story. I mean, we got fucked up, and then I think we eventually got kicked out because we got too fucked up, but
I want to say she's a prostitute, then, Christian.
I don't think so because she didn't hit me up and was like, yeah, if you like this, I can give you a little bit more for $30. No, she didn't say shit. She was just, I don't know.
Maybe she just
Yes,
needed
but I
it.
am going to say that.
Maybe she liked me, Amelia. God, some people do.
Like who?
My mind's drawing a little blank.
I'm fucking with you, Christian. I know people like you. I want to be talking to y'all on the fucking phone right now if I wasn't. Or if
Yeah,
I
you're
didn't. But she doesn't have to be a prostitute in the like, oh god, the ancient aspects of prostitutes. She could have technically she prostituted because she got paid.
And I sucked on the titty. Well, actually, I didn't pay for it. It was all on the house.
But she got paid.
Yeah, she got paid. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But that
And I
makes me-
think that she might have thought by allowing you to do the titty suck, that you would in fact get another dance with her.
Ooh, that's true.
This reminds me of
Which
something
would
else I
be
did.
more money in her pocket. But I can
God.
tell you that like girls that I danced with that like I consider to be respectable strippers, they made men sit on their hands. Like I used to give like dances and these guys would like pull their hands out and then they would like start touching me.
Well, yeah,
I'd be
I
like-
mean,
And I'd be like, no, you don't touch me.
I feel like
if you
that's-
touch me again, I'm going to have to get my bouncer. And then they do it again and I'd be like, listen, I'm either going to get my bouncer or you're going to sit on your fucking hands. Like you're not touching me.
here's my
And
thing.
then-
That's why I don't really like getting dances because I'm so tempted to touch their ass or something. Like, I mean, it's just like a human like reaction.
We
You
don't-
know what I mean?
Most girls, they will give you the spots that you can touch. Like they'll say stomach is okay. Thighs are okay. and like butt cheeks maybe okay, but the amount of guys that try and like rub down the middle when you're like,
Oh
bent
yeah.
over,
See, I would
that
never
makes
do
sense.
that.
taking stuff-
That's
No, there's men that have tried to like stick their fingers and shit in me. So like I've had bouncers have to literally like come in and pull the men out of the room and kick them out of the club for touching me too many times after I've given them their warnings. And like I had a bouncer that one time he watched this man like physically assault me and he didn't do shit. And when I asked him, I said, "Why didn't you do shit?" He looked at me and said, "Oh, you look like you had it handled." And I mean, I did. I was beat the shit out of him.
Dick.
what a fucking asshole.
I beat the shit out of him and like it didn't feel.
I told you guys
but-
she's good at beating up men.
Yeah, speaking
I
of
have
that,
fought more men than women, if I'm being completely honest. But I mean, like literally, like some bouncers, they literally, it's humorous for them to watch these stupid men get the shit beat out of them. I'm like, why didn't you do anything? And they're like, you had it handled. But like there are these weird men that come in that will literally try and like assault you, and that is why. If I was to ever dance again, which I don't think I ever would, mainly because of injuries and just, I think I'm kind of past feeling that it's necessary to do that. I do have other options for myself at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, that I'm trying to like grow with. So I wouldn't, but like if I like say I had to get back into it, I would never ever work at a club where the bouncers don't stand in a room with you.
I feel that. I mean, I've been in that
It's
awkward
not safe
situation.
enough,
I've been in that
especially
awkward
nowadays.
situation though too, where like I've been in a dance and like, you know, being the respectable person, like you said, hands down to your side or whatever. And the girl's like, "Why aren't you touching me?" And I'm like, "I didn't think I could touch you. You know, I'm like trying not to touch you." And they're like, "No, put your hands on my hips," or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Do you
But I
ever,
mean, like,
has that ever happened though, to where like maybe you're a little into it that night or something and you go a little further than normal?
Okay, say if a sexy man is in there, you're single at the time. He's like, "Can I get a lap dance?" Are you gonna like go get into it because you know this guy's sexy?
I mean, yeah, but I'm not gonna let him touch me.
Well,
Right,
I
but-
know, not like rub on you and shit. I'm just saying, like, are you gonna like?
He can touch my literally. It would be the way. Okay, so this is you had a mentor basically when I was in the strip club, and her stripper name was Luna, and she wasn't so much my mentor as like everyone's mom. If you were having a bad day and you were breaking down in the locker room and you were crying, if you needed your makeup fixed, if you were having a hard time getting money on stage, if you just weren't feeling comfortable in your own skin, she was the one that was going to help you. And she used to say it like this: give every man that you give a lap dance with the spots they can touch you at. If they stray, then tell them not to touch you.
Okay,
So-
yeah. See,
I had my rules like, because no offense, but like it's not fun if like some guy like buys, typically you can buy like a minute, or not a minute, but like a 1 song, a 2 song, a 3 song, and then it goes, I want to say 15 minutes, like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and an hour, and then 2 hours, etc. And then there's all like, you can do like shower shows, whipped cream shows, etc.
Shower shows?
shit.
Yeah.
What
What the fuck? Wait, what is a shower?
What about that?
I want to know about this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's, you just take a shower.
Why is this not offered in Ohio?
Yeah, why didn't I get that option?
You did it. They were at H2O.
You fucked up.
It's probably because I was fucked up. They
You
had to
fucked up.
take me home in the party bus.
But no, all you would do is like people would buy like a shower show, and then like basically the girls loved it. Like if you got to do a shower show, it was awesome because you just like took a shower, and you would like stick your ass cheeks
Oh my
against
god!
the
What?
mirror, and like you would get like fully naked, and you would just take a shower and like let
Shit.
them watch you take a shower.
I'm glad I didn't do that because I would have brought that up at the party too.
No. There was a whole mirror though. There's like you can't get into the shower with them.
But was it like
they go into
a two-way type of shit?
Yeah, like they could see you and you could see them. But there you have like a viewing room, and you have to go through the locker room to get to the shower where there was like a huge
Whoa! I got a
glass
question.
wall. So they couldn't like even hear you. They would
I
just
got a
like
quick
play a little bit
question.
of music that would play on both sides. And then you would just kind of like dance and like take a shower and like honestly like act like you were singing in the shower.
I got a quick question though. What if old boy whips his dick out? What's the protocol for that?
The bouncers got to stand in the room with the customers, so none of the men were allowed to touch themselves.
Well, then what the fuck? Why? That's a setup.
Wait.
Not really. I know men that used to come in and like watch the girls dance and tip everyone really well, and then like would get lap dances from everyone and wouldn't want to touch the girls. They would purposely sit on their hands and then go home to their wives and like have a great night because of the tension that was built up.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's 8:00 right now. It's what, a 4-hour drive to Westview? Where's the local ATM?
How much do I have to pay for this again?
I want to say it's like $100, maybe $200.
That's not bad.
It's no, and you guys could both go in, but you guys would both have to pay for it then.
That's weird. You can't get a 2-for-1 deal?
No. Strip clubs. I mean, but don't go to H2O and spend your money on this. He does not pay his strippers.
No, I'm sure I can find a local person around here. I could probably pay $100, $200 to watch shower. I'm sure there's somebody out there that would accept my money.
Well, if you get old girl to do it, she might give you a shower show and then give you a little message and say, hey, I'll meet you out back in the van. I'll give you a little more.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to get that OnlyFans link. Maybe I can DM her.
I would just like to put that out there that we do not condone prostitution. It is illegal in the state of Ohio and West Virginia and Pennsylvania, where Amelia is.
I think
at
about 48
I think
other
it's
states.
illegal everywhere.
No. It's legal in Nevada. Yeah, the Bunny Ranch. My uncle was telling me all about that shit. Like he was like low key like trying to say he didn't go there, but I know that motherfucker went there. He's like he told it because he goes to Vegas all the time, and he's like, yeah. He goes, it's about 15 miles outside from there. It's way out in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, how do you know? He goes, I just heard about it.
They got black and white tiles in the bathroom, and if you go in and turn to the left, the gift shop's right there.
He's like, no, I got a buddy that went.
When you say prostitution's legal in Nevada, is it like, like in Kazakh, how there's like those whorehouses you can visit and there's those girls?
Yeah, the Bunny Ranch.
Is that the same thing?
Basically, it's a brothel.
It's a brothel. I mean, and streetwalkers, it's legal, I'm pretty sure. That's what I heard.
What is streetwalkers?
Like people on the corner, in the hood, they're like, hey, I can give you a little fun time for $25.
You've been alive for how long? You've never seen an episode of Cops? Come on.
Like where they set people up.
A streetwalker.
Well, that's okay.
Their term? I didn't know that there was that. I didn't know that was the term for that.
Yeah, street walking because they're walking the streets looking for to give people a good time for a fair price.
Well, there's definitely
I've heard them referred to as prostitutes,
day walkers, street walkers.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different
night
terms.
Walkers.
Yeah, night walkers is
mainly
one.
They are called whores. I feel like, oh look, there's another whore. I wonder if she's gonna find a customer. Like, I've never heard of them as a streetwalker. I guess that's a preferable term.
That's a good term because they are walking the streets, right? I mean, it makes sense.
No, I'm here for it. I think if I was a prostitute, I think I'd rather be called a streetwalker than a prostitute or a whore. So I'm here for it.
It's like that
feminism.
What's that TikTok trend when they ask you what you do for a living? Oh, I'm in accounting. I'm an accountant.
Nobody asks you.
I'm a young entrepreneur.
That shit cracks me up, man.
They're all strippers, though. Most of those girls are strippers, or they sell I follow these girls' accounts on TikTok that sell used makeup wipes and weird stuff like face masks, but used face masks. And this one girl, she was weird things I saw on the internet, part 73, and she had she put black lipstick on, and then she used makeup wipes to get it off. And
you're getting Big Crispy all hot and bothered over here.
Well,
it's making me a little bit uncomfortable.
Clean off her lipstick. And she made a bunch of money off of it. She made a couple $100 off of it or something. I was like, or maybe not that much, but she made money off of it. And I was like, bitch, for makeup wipes?
He's over here closing his eyes going.
I don't know about makeup wipes, but we just had to touch on the black lipstick, I'm kind of into that gothic theme too,
Who don't like a big titty goth
style.
bitch?
Oh, you ain't wrong.
Like that Bernie Sanders meme where it says big titty goth bitches for everybody. Fuck Medicare for all. Big titty bitches for everybody.
I would have voted.
Yeah, me too. No,
But
I wouldn't have. I'm just kidding.
socialism is
Am I
not the
allowed to
best.
ask you guys who you voted for or no?
Yeah, I voted for Donald J. Trump.
Okay, who'd you vote for, Big Crispy?
I did the same.
Yep.
You guys know who Joe Jorgensen is?
Yes, we.
Yeah, he's
heard
a
of her,
libertarian.
obviously.
I like
Or him.
libertarians. They're kind of.
She. It's a she.
It is a
it's
she.
a her. She's a girl.
Christians.
Oh
Donald
yeah. No, I was thinking of the libertarian that ran last election. My bad.
The problem is independents. They don't gather enough votes to become presidents. It's
Yeah, but
never, like, a
no,
thing.
the only libertarian that really was like super known was Ron Paul, but he ran as a Republican.
I want to say that a libertarian has won an election before.
I would
think
doubt
so.
that.
I doubt it. It's pretty much being a Republican, but like they have a couple different views. Like they have different views on military. Why are we going political right now? We went from strippers to politics.
I had to ask. I just had to. You guys, you brought it up.
No, I mean I agree completely. Like, obviously, you're strippers, politics, whatever. Who we voted for. My big question is though, like I said earlier, relationship advice wise, as a woman and us being both single men.
Yeah.
What is your best relationship advice for a man, or what is the thing that irritates you the most, either about your current boyfriend or just relationships in general that just really grinds your gears, and how we can prevent that issue?
So do we want the things that you should be doing to get into relationships? Should I just throw a bunch of advice out?
Wait. Did you ask your friends? Or was that a lie?
Oh, no. I mean, I've asked my friends, and my friends...
Are they going to listen to this podcast?
Yes. They are going to listen to the podcast. That is for sure.
Well, Amelia's
That's for
friends,
sure.
if you guys, once you listen to this, I would like to give a public servant's announcement that my buddy, Big Crispy, a.k.a. Big Simpin', is single and ready to mingle.
You ain't wrong. But I got some cards in play right now, so I mean, I ain't gonna guarantee nothing, but you never know.
Oh, he's probably
I
got
wanna
somebody he's
say,
texting right
Get
now.
out
He
the
don't
fuck
want
out
to.
of Ohio. If you
Actually, I'm
wanna
Snapchatting
find-
right now, so yeah, you ain't
Columbus ain't bad, though. You got to come visit.
wrong. See, this is the problem. I
I've
can't move
been
out of
to
Ohio
Ohio.
because I have a career here.
Yeah, me
and,
too. I can't either.
It's kind of hard to move away from that at this moment.
Transfer it.
It's one of those you can't transfer.
But for real, if I could move right now and like do my job somewhere else, I'd be in South Carolina tomorrow.
I understand that.
I think you know that.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Do you?
Okay, well, so advice. Should I just throw a bunch of advice out there?
I want to hear your best tips because obviously,
Yeah.
something as a guy, I'm sure there's a lot of guy listeners too right
And
now
Amelia always has the hottest friend, so I cannot wait to hear
that
this.
could probably take this and use it in a positive way.
No, I'm going to try really hard here and actually give you guys some good advice.
Good.
So I want to say that one thing is men try too hard. All women hate a man that tries too hard. Like, it's not that
I
good.
don't think I
guys.
try enough.
Damn, I think you just offended me.
I don't
It's
try
not-
enough.
Yeah, see, laziness is not the answer either. You just can't try too hard, though. Like, if you try too hard, women will get bored. And, like, the one thing no woman wants to be is bored. They want to feel safe and they want to feel secure, but they don't want to be bored with it. Like, don't go off and cheat on them, but, like, maybe get drunk and, like, be like, let's go on a fucking adventure kind of a thing. Like, just don't be boring with them. Like, give them new adventures. Don't, like, go off and, like, cheat on them and be like, nah, switch shit up on you now. But, like, definitely try and be a little bit more fun and try less hard, though. Like,
Spontaneous?
that works for some women, but I want to say not necessarily spontaneous.
Like getting drunk and being like, hey, let's go
Well,
fucking
I'm
watch the stars in the backyard or some bullshit like
Yeah,
that.
but that's not always the answer. Sometimes it's just hanging out and watching television and shit with them. But it's not like a trying so hard, like, okay, so I'm going to plan out every second of every day together and every single thing that we do or I want to do with you. And I'm going to try so hard. I'm going to message you 20 times. And if you don't message me back,
Hell
then I'm
no.
gonna panic.
That's
And
a
I'm
little
not going to
nuts.
trust any of your friends. And I'm going to be da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be like, just don't do too much. Like,
Have you
don't
ran
be like,
across
hey,
men like this?
Yes.
I'm sure there are people out there. There's people that get way too attached. Question though, when was the last
Yes.
time anybody's bought you flowers on a date, or do you prefer flowers on a first date? Because that's been like my move forever. Every date I've gone on, I bought somebody flowers. That's just like the common courtesy thing to do. I don't know. I grew up that way on the first date. That's like very regular thing I will do.
That's very old school of you, and I respect that. And
I'm
there
an
are
old
a lot
soul.
of women that would love that. I am not personally a woman that likes that, mainly because, like, it just depends on the girl. You definitely have to get to know the girl first a little bit. I want to say, unless you're just like surprised and you're like, you know what, this is it. I'm taking all my chances. Then yeah, pull out all the stops. But like, if you actually like, say it's like one of your friends and you've known her for a bit and you're like, you know what, I want to try and take this step and like stop our friendship from being a friendship and move us to the next level. If you know that girl well enough, I definitely think it just depends on who she is and what to get her or how to give her things. Like, for example, like if a man tried to give me flowers, I would not necessarily be comfortable with that. And I say that because I'm not good at accepting gifts. I've been through like a lot of shitty relationships where every single gift I've ever been given has almost always felt like it's come with like
because they fucked up or something.
Like with strings. Yeah, like there's always some sort of string attached to the gift.
Right,
Like if they're giving me this gift, then they expected me to fuck them. Like, and that was the deal. It didn't matter if I wanted to or not. I had to now that they gave me this gift. Or like they gave me this and it seemed like a random nice surprise. And I was like, this is really nice, but why the fuck? For what reason? And it's because they cheated on me and they felt guilty about it.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
That's
So
fucked
for
up.
me, gifts are like, I get very anxious. Like I don't know how to accept them and I don't do it well. Like I always panic. I'm like, no, you really didn't need to do this. This was too much. And then I start to overthink it. So I'm going to say it definitely depends on the girl. A lot of girls have different preferences. Like, and that's another thing is like, there's no one girl that's going to be the same as another girl. They may be similar, but there's always going to be differences in between every single person.
Right.
And men try too hard to treat all the girls the same way. And the thing is like, you need to treat a female however you wish to treat them. And that right female will be like, this is it. Like, this man is treating me so well, and that's going to be it for them. And then because they appreciate that so much, it's going to make you want to do even more for them. But for like the women, there may be women that are so used to getting flowers and
fucking
their
just
dinner paid
pampered with
for.
shit.
Yeah, and their dinner paid for and a mani-pedi and a dress to wear for the date. So when you hand them the flowers, they're going to be like,
what the fuck is this? This isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Right.
So it just depends on the female. It really does. You've got to be yourself, and there's going to be women that appreciate it, and you're going to see that they appreciate it, and you're going to want to do more for them because of how much they show that it means to them when you do little things for them. And then there's going to be the women that it doesn't matter unless you're spending $600 on them.
Of course, because I think
I ain't chasing no woman like that.
There's definitely
if you're listening to this podcast and you expect me to spend $600 just for you to find out that that's enough. I think he did. I think he tried this time. No, baby, I'm gonna get you a double cheeseburger and you better be happy with it because I thought of you.
I think there's definitely those different love languages out there. I think that's actually like, a real thing. Some people are more materialistic than others.
And those are the worst type of people, though.
Right, but it depends on, like she basically stated, you have to find out who that person is and what they like, basically, or else it's just going to be the wrong
Well, let me
thing.
ask you this.
I know women that like when he says love language, like, yes, I'm here for that. That is the best way to put it. Every woman has their different love language. Like some women need to be told that they're loved. Like you could gift them things every single day for years. And unless you look at them straight in the eyes and say, I love you and I appreciate you being here and I can't imagine life without you, until you say that to them, none of their gifts are going to mean shit to them because you haven't said the words.
Yeah, but everybody loves in different ways. You know what I mean? So that makes sense.
Yeah, no, love languages are so serious. But like, I know like women, like I have friends that their love language are gifts, but they weren't raised with a gold spoon up their ass. So it doesn't have to be like Tiffany's jewelry or like expensive things. Like you could be walking home and pick 3 dandelions and find this really cool rock and give it to them and be like, I just thought you'd think these were cool. And she would love them. She'd be like, oh my God, I literally love them. And she'd hold on to the dandelion line. She'd press them and like make bookmarks out of them.
That's fucking
And she
awesome.
put her rock in their collection. Like, yeah, like there are women that like, yes, they want to be gifted things, but there are women that don't need like expensive things or expensive dates or any of that. Like that's too much for them. They'd rather have like a heartfelt, you found this rock and look at how freaking dope this rock is. Like it's very cool, whatever you found. And you thought of them when you found it, so you give it to them, and they love that. They're like, they thought of me while they were walking around. I was just randomly in their head. They thought of me and wanted to give me this.
Okay, I want to bring this up. I think this is kind of deep, but I think how people love, this goes back to psychology. I think it kind of has something to do with your parents and how did they show you your love? Did they buy it, or did they put an emphasis on spending time with you? Yeah, experiences.
I think that can change though too over time. Obviously, if you grew up a certain way, it is harder to change your mindset, but some people find things more personable than others. Nowadays I find it quite often is that men don't compliment women enough. Sometimes it feels like you know how ridiculous it is when you say like, "Oh, you're beautiful" or something like that. A lot of women, when you say some shit to that like that to them, they don't hear it quite often, and it kind of shocks them in some sort of way. Like I've found that quite often that people don't say that shit enough, or they don't, use their words and compliment as much as they used to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's harder though for women to accept compliments nowadays, just because of the society that we're raised in.
They're complimented.
Everyone's got an opinion, and in today's day and age, everyone's told that their opinions are validated. So, for example, like if a man was to look at me and be like, "You're so pretty, like you are gorgeous," have you been told that? I would look at them and be like, "Well, thank you. Like that's really nice of you, and I appreciate your opinion, but like you're one of the few that think that." Like, because I've been told so many times throughout my life that I'm ugly, and then I'll have people look at me and be like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty! Like you are so pretty!" Like just drunk girls that would come up to me and be like, "You're gorgeous. Let's be friends." And then I'd have the same person look at me and be like, "Who's that ugly fucking bitch? Like look at how nappy she looks." Da 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 da. So I think because of today's society and everyone's opinion and how everyone's opinion's validated in some which way or another, and like everyone feels that they're allowed to have an opinion on everything, that like when I get a compliment from one person, I'm waiting for another person to look at me and be like, they fucking lied to you.
Right. And that's the worst thing, is because like you said, you guys hear it so much often nowadays, especially with social media and shit like that you guys are constantly, you're either praised or you're put down. And that's the worst part, is way too many people think it's okay just to put down somebody just because they feel like shit that day or something.
Yeah.
You don't have the right, to go around telling somebody, "Oh, you look like a piece of shit." Keep that comment to yourself. Keep it in your fucking head. You don't know what that person's going through on the daily basis.
Say something nice or don't say anything at all.
Exactly. And that's not too many people are not growing up that way. I mean, social media is the perfect way to hide too, because you have all these keyboard warriors that'll get on, they'll make an anonymous account or something, they'll try to bully you online just because they're jealous or some shit.
Yeah. No, and it's awful. And it's I feel for every single woman and girl that is growing up and has been growing up in the age that we're growing up in, because like social media, it fucks with people. And like if you go on social media, you'll see like a lot of girls literally can't post pictures without face tuning or like using filters.
Exactly.
And it does so much for our self-esteem, so that like we'll post all these pictures online and we'll feel pretty because we're using Facetune or we're using these filters. And then we go out in public and we are immediately insecure because we're like, someone's going to look at us and be like, she's not nearly as pretty in person.
Oh no, she's a cat. That's a catfish. She's a catfish.
Yeah, oh my God. The amount of people that, like on TikTok, all these women that do their makeup and then they take their makeup off, all the comments are like, "Oh, you got to take a woman on her first date to the pool." Like women are like, we can't win.
Okay,
like,
that shit is kind of funny though. A little bit, but it's not. I laughed at it, but I don't mean it. You know what I mean? Like when you see something like that, you're laughing, but you're like, "Oh, this is kind of fucked."
But
you know what I mean?
The thing is, nobody knows how to accept somebody for their natural beauty nowadays, because there is so much shit out there to change your appearance. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, but I have always told girls, "Hey, I love when you don't wear makeup. Like I want to like you for you,
right?
Not what you want me to think that you look like." You know what I'm saying?
I would rather date somebody that has a minimalist makeup style versus somebody that cakes on, 2 pounds of makeup or some shit. I agree with that.
But you have to keep in mind, a lot of these women aren't wearing makeup for you all. We're wearing it for ourselves. We're wearing it for our own confidence. Like,
oh yeah, always.
in Morgantown, and I will be completely honest about this. In Morgantown, I bartended for 5 years, so I was well known downtown. Like if I'd walk downtown, people would yell at me from across the street, "Hey, Amelia!" And I would look at them like, "Who the fuck are you? I don't remember you." And I just know they had to be someone I served at some bar. Okay, but because of that, and because of how well known I was, I never felt comfortable going out and just bumming it. I was like, I have to go out and look fucking presentable everywhere I go.
Right. I mean, that definitely, like, you know, happens. And you guys do have to feel comfortable yourself. I agree with that, you know. It's one of it just, you know, you're self-conscious and shit like that. Obviously, as a woman or a man, you want to feel pretty. Obviously, you know, you don't want to look in the mirror and be like, feel disgusted. But obviously, you have way too many people out there that talk shit and shit like that to put you down. And that's the biggest thing with mental health nowadays, is many people get down on themselves just because of the comments somebody else makes. And it's fucking shitty that as a society, that's what we grow up in.
Everyone's got to have an opinion for some reason, and it really doesn't make any sense to me. But that's exactly why, like, I hear you guys that you guys prefer women without makeup, and I love that. And, like, my boyfriend is the same way. So, like, for example, like, when I would go out and, like, to the bars with him, I would have to take a bit of time to get ready and, like, feel like I could go out and, like, face people. But when I was home with him, I felt comfortable not wearing makeup. But it wasn't always like that. For, like, the first month or so that we dated, I didn't want him to see me without makeup. Because I was like, he's not going to like me anymore once he sees me without makeup. So I would, like, if he came over and I wasn't expecting it, I'd run into the bathroom and put on a face mask.
Oh.
So my face would still be covered by something. And so then eventually I started to get comfortable with him, and then realized that he did care about me and that he wasn't with me for what my face looked like with some makeup on it, because he'd seen me in some of my darker moments. And I got some pretty bad, like, blackout stories. I was that girl that would, like, black out and run from people downtown. Like, no, I don't want to go home. They'd be like, Amelia, it's 4:30 in the morning, and I'd, like, hide behind trash cans and stuff. Like, it was
bad, pretty much blackout or nothing for you.
Oh, literally, it was pretty much blackout or nothing for me.
Because I remember you used to say, you're like, I'm not drinking today. And then you'd be like, and then you'd have a beer. And then all of a sudden you'd call me the next day and you're like, I don't remember anything that happened last night.
I wish I could pay.
Help it.
I wish I could pay.
I couldn't tell myself to stop. I would remember that I'd go to the bars and I'd start to drink, and then I'd be like, all right, Amelia, after this drink, you're going home. And I'd be like, all right, I'm doing this. I'm going home after this drink. And I would remember closing out my tab. And then I would start to walk home. And I lived in South Park. So I would start to walk, like, towards Walnut Street or whatever. And then at some point during me leaving the bar and trying to get home,
you would go to another one.
Yeah, I would black out. And blackout me was like, to the next bar.
You're lucky, because, like, I wish I could black out. I've never been able to get to that stage.
Oh, God,
where I just black out and do not
times.
remember. I don't know if it's because obviously I'm a bigger person and it just takes a lot, but I'm also always the one fucking driving. So, like, no matter what, I'm always the person that's got to drive or some shit like that. So I always stop drinking like 4 hours ahead of time. I mean, there's been a couple times where I've stayed the night at Christian's house and we've been drinking and I've gotten pretty fucked up. But I have not gotten to the stage to where I just don't remember shit.
But that's the beauty of Morgantown.
Oh,
it's
my God.
because you can walk the fuck everywhere. Like, you don't need to have a car.
You don't need to.
No, you literally can walk everywhere. There's not a single place you cannot walk. And there's a bus if you can't walk it.
Right, but I've been there, and them hills are a little too steep for a big crispy. Sometimes I might fall down that motherfucker and go tumbling.
Okay, so I'll give that to you. Morgantown hills are a bitch. But once you get downtown, you are set. So, like, if you go to visit, just make sure you, like, book one of the hotels, like, on High Street. So then, like, after you, like, South Park, it was flat. I'm going to give it to myself.
Yeah,
I did a good job.
I lived over there, too.
House in South Park. Yeah, it's flat. It's goddamn flat over there. You don't walk uphill for shit to get to or from South Park. And it was pretty much the easiest goddamn thing I could do. It took me about 7 minutes to walk to the bar, and about sometimes 15-ish, depending. To, like, stop to pee in people's yards. And eventually I'd be home. It wasn't bad. And no matter what, blackout me always made it home. I had a dog. I have a dog. So I'd make it home to my dog every night. I was good about that.
Well, that's kind of lucky then, because, like, I had it to where, like, you know, I went to visit Christian that one time. The hotel was over there by the basketball stadium or some shit.
That was when I lived in Dadisman.
Right. And my fucking car Dude, I'm sitting there at the stop sign. I got the e-brake fucking pulled because I'm worried about rolling down this goddamn hill. It's my time to go. I let go of the e-brake and my fucking car rolls backwards like 5 feet. I was so afraid to roll back into somebody else. Like, them fucking hills sucked. But I mean, like, you agree, once you get...
to go up then.
Right, when you get downhill, it flattens out. Kind of down there by, like, B-dubs where Christian, ditched on the fucking meal of $90 fucking dollars from episode 1 that we never
Not one of my
finished,
foundest moments.
Not one of your foundest moments, but I mean, downtown West V is nicer. I mean, but when you live up there in them dorms and you got to trek back up that hill and you're fucked up, it's not the fun thing to do. I'll tell you that much.
No, speaking of those hills, bro, when it snowed one time, I fucking looked outside. I know you know where Teak is, right, Amelia? Where Teak is in KA?
Mm-hmm.
I literally watched a car. Fucking, the dude started it up and just starts rolling backwards and then literally does a 360 all the way down the hill and fucking clips the side right over there near Borman. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Just like totally clips the side of it. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's some crazy shit. What was that Euro shop we went to? Because that place was fucking delicious or whatever that shop was.
What is it? What is the little right next to Borman? It's that like it's like a little bar, but they sold food.
The canteen?
Canteen, yeah.
Oh my god, that place was we were so fucked up that one night and we went in there.
That's how it goes.
And got a fucking sandwich or some shit and it was like heaven on earth. I think I died. And then I had to walk back up that hill and I'm pretty sure I had the meat sweats or some shit.
Bro, you fucking
dying.
dude, I'm telling you, when I was living there, I would get blackout drunk, right? And I would walk fucking 2 miles to a party and then drink more and then somehow wake up back in my bed fucking, and I know I walked because I could feel it in my legs. I would just get fucking tanked and just walk right back. It was just the way of the world there. You know what I mean? Everybody did it.
I don't know how you did it though.
I used to walk to and from the bars in heels while there was ice covering the ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts. You wore heels and was walking on the ice?
Yeah.
That's just a broken ankle waiting to happen there. I don't know how you do that. I couldn't even make up them damn hills sober without almost rolling my ankle.
It was almost always a bitch, but I mean, like, looking good. When you first got to Morgantown, you, like, wanted to look good. That was the goal. Once you became, like, a junior, you're like, I don't really care.
No, but there were so many good-looking women. There are a lot of good-looking women in Morgantown.
I don't know, because we went to that party that one time. We walked like halfway across campus or some shit. And bro, half the fucking people there were just wearing like sweatpants and a fucking sweatshirt. And we went out to the mall that day and bought an outfit and everything. I felt so overdressed for that shit.
He came my first weekend that I went there.
Did he come since?
No, that was the worst part. I never had a chance to make it back out.
And you know how I knew everybody.
Yeah, I was going to say, because when I first found out you were making this podcast, I was like, wait, was he one of the men that you brought down to stay at my house when you came?
Sadly, not.
No. I know. Like, literally, like, had you came down, I had a whole house, a 3-bedroom house to myself at the time.
Well, see, life events have happened in my life since then, which kind of prevented from me to go into Morgantown. That was the sad part.
He's a dad.
No, I understand. But I do suggest making it a point to go down at some point and trying to fulfill your goal of blacking out.
Oh, yeah. We're definitely going to find a weekend where we're free and visit back up. We've been talking about wanting to go to a football game or some shit, obviously, when COVID's done and over with and we can actually experience it, because I've heard some stories with Christian over there and going to the football games and some shit. It's kind of like one of those things that you just want to experience.
No, I fucking loved it. I've never actually watched a football game, but I fucking tailgated so many times that I wouldn't even know who won. I just knew that we were partying and like rioting.
It's
like,
crazy.
Why are we rioting? I don't know, but couches are on fire.
Yeah, what was up with that? I heard about that story about you guys rioting after like the second win of the season.
My God.
Some shit like that.
Okay, guys. We're going to take a quick commercial break and then we're going to talk about the Baylor riots.
All right, 1 second here. We'll be right back.
All right, we are back. And we definitely are going to go into the Baylor riots.
I mean, I can't wait to hear about this because from what I've seen online and heard, it was pretty crazy.
Oh, no, we were on national news, buddy. You can look up the articles. Fucking nuts. It was fucking nuts. So basically what happened, Amelia can chip in here in a minute, but basically we upset Baylor. And Baylor was like, I think they were like top 5 or something. And if they would have beat us, they pretty much would have went to the national title game. Or at least to the playoff, whatever.
Right.
So, we upset them. We get done. Everybody is fucking going wild. And everybody's like, yo, go to Grant Street. Everybody go to Grant Street. Like, literally fucking thousands and thousands of people just flooding to Grant Street. The cops start to shut it down. Right?
The campus police, because them motherfuckers are dicks.
No, they tried. They were, dude, the fucking Morgantown cops are crazy, bro. They shoot you with rubber bullets, tear gas, fucking anything.
No, they are psychos.
Crazy. Shit shouldn't even be legal. But anyway, we go, right? There's literally like couch burnings on every street, bro. Every street. And so the Grand Street shit got shut down, right? So I lived on Dadisman. You've been there before.
Right.
So we have to go back there. And everybody is just flooded on every street, just fucking breaking shit. Fucking, I witnessed people like taking telephone poles and just fucking them up, like ripping them out of the ground.
Telephone poles?
Shit. Yes, bro.
How the fuck are you ripping telephone poles out the ground?
I saw it. They were trying. And they, of course, they were successful.
Light poles, maybe.
Yeah, I mean light poles, my bad.
I was going to say telephone poles. I was like, I don't
light
think
poles,
there's any telephone poles on WVU Street.
Anyway, so I'm like, we're fucking around outside of my dorm, right? And like right outside, you know that the road we're talking about with all the frat houses.
Yeah, because we played basketball and shit. Yeah, and we were at that one party.
A little bit up from that.
Yeah, we were at that one party that got kicked out, and we were all come down the staircase or whatever. Yeah.
So all the cops are flooded in the streets. We're all just fucking around. So I grabbed a fucking beer and I just fucking chunked it. Hit a fucking cop in his dome. Straight in his fucking dome.
What a dick.
Whatever, it was a fucking riot. They don't know it was me. Where's your proof, bitch?
Well, this podcast is the proof now.
We were playing chicken with the cops. Like they were chasing us around the dorm. Like they would like chase us, then stop. Like I was literally just fucking me and like 20 other people were just playing chicken with the cops. It was fucking nuts. One of the wildest nights of my fucking life, for sure. Like, it was basically, there was no rules. I mean, and there's usually no rules in Morgantown, but that night, there was fucking no rules.
Literally, nuts. I know this one girl that was like working, I want to say at Costa at the time. And the riots were happening like on High Street and shit too. And she had stepped out of Costa.
She got pepper sprayed, huh?
Yeah. She like stepped out of Costa and decided she was going to sit on like the curb and like look at and watch everyone riot. And the cops came up to her. And no, actually, I think she got shot with a rubber bullet.
I got shot with a couple of those. They fucking hurt.
Because the cops were like, you got to get up and you got to go. And she was just like, I'm not doing anything wrong, sir. I'm just eating my pizza and looking around. And the cops were obviously like, no sass in me, bitch, or something. And they shot her with a rubber bullet.
Damn.
No, but that reminds me. This was the only thing that I felt sympathy at this moment in the night. I was standing there. The fucking Jimmy John's guy. They were on bikes there. They rode bikes. Yeah. So dude is riding up High Street, up that hill. And the fucking cop maces him on his bike and he fucking falls on the ground, bro. I'm like, motherfucker, you are fucked up. Like, how you gonna do my mans like that?
Freaky fast my ass. That motherfucker.
Yeah, motherfucker was hurting.
Dude, the riots, they got out of control though. Like at some point,
the
kids probably should have been like, all right, we're hurting each other, because they did. They ended up like causing some serious shit. Like when they put that like burning couch in the dumpster and then pushed the dumpster down for that.
Oh my God, that shit was. I literally watched that shit happen at Teak right there.
Yeah.
I literally, because my dorm was across the street, I sat and watched that shit. I'm like, yo, this shit is fucking wild. I'm like, I never thought I would experience some shit like this in my life. And I'm like, it's literally like a fucking like, this shit is like a movie. I'm like, am I
Like a
really?
war zone.
Like, I'm literally like looking at that shit and I'm like, when the fuck, like, how the fuck did I get to experience this? Because most people don't get to experience that type of shit. And I did. And that's probably why I'm
I mean, like,
fucking
if
wild
you
as
think about
fuck.
with 2020, a lot of people have now experienced riots, though.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, but that shit's for political reasons. We were just fucked up and happy because we won a fucking football game.
We were straight up rioting for fun. Like,
exactly, it's wild.
There's a difference between rioting in fun and rioting for a reason, I'm sure.
We weren't rioting for social justice.
Right. No. There was literally nothing we wanted out of it. We just wanted to fuck some shit up. There was not like, we're going to riot until you treat all students fairly or something. We were straight up like, we fucking did it.
Hey, you know what's funny? After that riot, it was illegal to have a couch on your porch in Morgantown City.
Oh my God, I know.
That's
literally,
funny
I
as
tried to
shit.
throw my couch out one day and they like came out and they were like, ma'am, da-da-da-da-da, and I was just like, oh, okay.
You're breaking city ordinance 8412.
Yeah, dude. No, they made whole ass laws about it. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And so then every time we would have like a crazy rival game, the cops would come out like ahead of schedule just to make sure we wouldn't try to riot. I mean, like we almost always did anyways, but
No, but here's the thing. The crazy shit is like the next day, this shit has broke like national news. I literally walk out of my dorm to go to my 8:30 class. I'm like walking down the hill, like where you play basketball at the mountain layer.
Yeah.
There's literally
green.
fucking Fox News, NBC News, the whole 9 yards just standing there, like filming. I'm like, yo, we was really doing big shit last night. Like, them motherfuckers was here within 10 hours.
Didn't you work at the Dairy Queen or some shit in that mountain layer?
No. It wasn't in the mountain layer. It was in
It was on High
Suncrest.
Street.
No, I didn't work at that one. I worked at the one in Suncrest.
'Cause I
Dakota worked at the one on
I
High
remember
Street.
we went into the I think it was the mountain lair we went into or whatever that was right
with
there.
Chick-fil-A and all
Yeah,
that bullshit.
we went to get Chick-fil-A that one time, and the one fucking guy was standing there, and he's like, "Bro, fuck this job." And he's like, "I ain't got time for this bullshit." He was like arguing with his manager or some shit. That shit was hilarious. That fucking place was
Fuck this work,
different.
study.
That shit was nuts. That was a nice little area you guys had, though. I mean, it wasn't too bad. Besides what, you had to use your ID or some shit to get into the thing, I remember.
No. You didn't have to use your ID to get into the mountain layer. It was kind of like, dude, there was a bowling alley down in the basement, right? Like a
What?
full ass bowling alley. Yeah, it's fun as shit.
I didn't
Crazy.
remember that. I just remember the basketball court was on top of the parking garage, which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Which I find that pretty odd, but whatever.
Dude,
the green.
The green is dope, bro. They had some crazy shit. Like they had like flag football games and shit.
I would
Dude,
have
I
Tent
love-
City was wild.
Tent City was out of control, and when Fall Fest was on the green, Fall Fest
Oh
was
my! I got a funny story
Fall
about
Fest was
Fall
it.
Fest for you. So, all right, if you guys didn't know, Fall Fest is like a little concert that they do every year. Well, they used to. They don't do it now. You can look it up on Google if you want, but they used to have it at the Green every year. No, they stopped doing it a couple years ago.
No. They still have Fall Fest.
No, they have it, but they don't
do it on the
have it
green.
at the Green.
Right. I was gonna say, yeah, they still
Yeah,
have.
they
just
still
don't
have
the
it, but
green.
anyway.
Yeah.
So this was when fucking Schoolboy Q was performing or whatever, and I was with these people, and I'm chilling with him, and his homie calls him. He goes, "Yo," he had it on speakerphone. He goes, "Yo, bro, we got a fucking crazy spot, bro. We're on top of the mountain layer." The guy's like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, bro, we made it on top of the mountain layer. We got a perfect show." All of a sudden, probably 5 minutes later, I see some spotlights go on top of the mountain layer. These motherfuckers got arrested. And then all of a sudden he calls him back. The dude calls him back like, I think it was probably 10 minutes later. He goes, yo, bro, we're getting arrested. We wasn't supposed to go on top of the mountain layer, bro. You gotta bail us out. I don't know what's about to go down. He goes, bro, what the fuck did you expect? Like, are you fucking stupid?
How did the hell did they even get up on that building?
I don't know. I still to this day have no idea how the fuck they got up on top of there.
Because me thinking about it from seeing it, like
where there's a will,
there's no
there's
way.
a way, buddy.
I'm sure there was a ladder somewhere, but they had to have some other device to get up there.
There's no fucking way, bro. There is no. I still think about this to this day. I'm like, how the fuck did they get up on top of that fucking mountain layer?
That shit's fucking nuts, dude. West V is just
Parkour.
a different breed of
Oh my
people in a
God.
different place than any other college that you can experience.
It
that's
makes
for sure.
people like me and Amelia.
Literally. It was
Exactly.
the number one party school for a reason.
Oh yeah, I mean, people
If we
talk
didn't
about
get that,
what
means nothing.
people talk about Ohio University as a party school in Ohio. That
Yeah,
shit-
but I met so many people that
Yeah.
that go to OU. They come to Morgantown to party a lot.
exactly. I don't think OU's that fun either.
It's just okay. OU is fun, but Morgantown just has a lot more people.
Yeah, I could see that. But
And
OU is
from
also
everywhere.
OU
Yeah.
is also like super liberal,
Not West Virginia. West Virginia is definitely not
right?
liberal.
But OU is like super liberal. That's like the worst part about it. I'm sure
I
you
think
say the
West
wrong
Virginia
thing there.
has its like even cut of like liberals and like Republicans and Democrats. Like everyone's definitely got like their own opinions because like we've got our Jersey folks,
Yep.
we've got our people from New York, we've got our people from PA, we've got our people from
Yep.
PA, Maryland,
Ohio.
Nova, Ohio, like literally people from Texas, people from every single fucking state, from other countries even come to specifically West Virginia University for like a reason. So like you will find people with such varying platforms that like there's not like too much of anything. Like you don't feel like if you're a liberal, you don't feel like there's too many like Republicans or Democrats. And if you're a Republican, you don't feel like there's too many people against you. And if you don't feel like if you're a Democrat, there's not too many people against it's very like
It's a
evenly
melting pot.
split. It's 100% a melting pot, but very evenly split. Like it doesn't lean one way or another more. It's very like you will find there's going to be groups of people for every single thing. There's probably people for like socialism in that goddamn place. Like
Socialism.
Everybody,
yeah, no, like hey, I support a communist rule, and like I guarantee you, there's other people at West Virginia University that are like, yeah, you know what, I agree with you, man. Like it's a very fair, like even amount of people running around
I agree.
with such different views. But it's so cool because if you're open minded, it's a really good place to go and learn about everything, like
Right.
every opinion that there is. to
Yeah,
have.
for real.
everybody there seems like they don't give a fuck though. That's what's nice about it.
Oh, I
Like
love it.
when we were there, it was like basically nobody gave a fuck who you like. Most people didn't give a fuck who you were or what you were doing. They were just trying to party and have a good time. That was what was
Exactly.
nice about it.
Oh yeah, as long as you're not harshing the vibe and like bringing people down, they didn't give a fuck. If you were fun and you would party with them and like not judge them, then they didn't care. But like that's because we're in West Virginia University, like in Morgantown, you're surrounded by so many different people that if you had a problem, you have to get over it real fast.
A motherfucker
sure.
like me flourished down there.
What do you mean by you floors?
Dude, I flourished. Everybody fucking knew me somehow. Like
Right.
I'd be walking down
Oh,
the street
and
and some
weird.
random people would be like, yo, are you Balenciaga on Twitter?
Is that-
I swear. Tell
that
me
why
I'm
you-
wrong. Amelia, tell me I'm wrong.
That is literally like when I found out who he was like, yeah, I'm Christian, da da da. And like Becca had brought him over, and I was like, wait, are you Balenciaga on Twitter? And he was like, yeah, I did. I straight up asked him that.
That's why this motherfucker was waking up in truck beds and shit. I know you remember that shit. That shit
Yeah, I
was a pretty fucking funny story. You had people all over you, huh?
I wouldn't use those terms, but it was a wild time. It definitely wasn't easy to get a female's attention in Morgantown, that's for sure.
You know what I will never forget about you, though, Christian?
What?
One time, you had convinced me to go out to the bars with you. And I was like, okay, sure, Christian. Sure. And you were like good and schnozzed by the time we left my fucking house.
Big surprise.
Right? And we had like gone downtown, and I was a cigarette smoker still at the time. And you kept taking my cigarettes and my lighter from me.
He does that.
And
yeah, I do.
I was like, well, what the fuck? So at one point, like it was like towards the end of the night, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go outside and I'll wait for you. And I was like, okay, bet. Because you had my cigarettes, and so you took them from me at the bar and you went upstairs. I think we're at like 4th and Gold, maybe, or maybe it was Spage.
Probably Spage.
Yeah, but you had gone upstairs, and I came upstairs like I shit you not, like 4-5 minutes later, maybe if, and you were gone, and I had to come all the way to your fucking house, where I found you asleep, cuddling my cigarette. And I was like, I woke you up. I literally, first of all, you should have locked your front door, you fucker. You're lucky I didn't rob you.
Would you have only took 400, or would you have took the 1,000?
Motherfucker, I would have taken everything that looked like it was worth money. But
We didn't have much.
Inside your house, and it was freezing cold, and I had to walk all the way like down, because you lived in the down part, like downhill South Park, and I lived up the hill.
You literally live 2 streets away. Stop making it seem like it's that far.
It's a bitch with a hill, though.
Oh my God. I literally, every time I walked to your crib, it took me like 8 minutes.
It was still a bitch, okay? And so I left the bar. I come all the way to your house. I find you cuddling my cigarettes. So I rip my cigarettes out of your hand, and then I couldn't find my lighter.
It's probably in his
pocket. So I had to wake you up. And I was like, where the fuck is my lighter? And you like reach into your pocket and you pull out this random lighter that was not mine. But you gave it to me, and I was like, fuck it. And then I started to walk outside, and as soon as I got outside, the cold air touched me, and I was like, fuck this shit. And I came inside, I went back into your room, and I found a sweatshirt. And I looked at you, and I was like, Christian, I'm taking this fucking sweatshirt. And you looked at me, you said, I don't care, it's Dakota's. And I had that sweater for like 2 or 3 years until like I had a friend come over, this one girl, and she was like, I need a sweater to walk home in. And I was like, here, take this one.
Wait, what did it look like?
It was green. It was like green that had some high school on it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that ain't us. Yeah, it was probably Dakota's.
You're telling me there
like
wasn't a
some green
convenience store or a gas station close enough to just buy
Not
one?
in South Park, no.
I guess I never
that's
visited you when you lived in South Park. That makes sense.
It's like, you have to, you'd have to walk probably 20 minutes out, well, maybe 15.
No, you'd have to walk to fucking Dairy Mart to get shit. It sucked.
Fuck that shit.
You guys didn't have them little scooters or nothing?
No, motherfucker, this is Morgantown. They ain't got no fucking scooters.
You go downhill
scooters like OSU?
real fast. You'd ride a scooter downhill real fast. You'd hit a fucking rock and you'd eat shit. There's no way.
Bro, could
you
you
get you one of them
imagine
mopeds or some
being
shit.
blackout drunk on those fucking scooters on hills, bro? They'd have some fucking lawsuits.
Lawsuits for some comedy gold clips. That's what I'm talking about.
Dude, people would have lost their lives so much. Okay, bringing it down for a second, though. One time I was walking down this fucking hill, and I was with my friend Morgan Vanderpool, who had came from Shepherdstown to come visit me. And we were walking down this hill to go like downtown, but we had been like up Prossman. And when we were walking down, we saw this shoe. Well, first we saw this ambulance, obviously. It's a huge ambulance. So we saw this ambulance, and then we saw this shoe on the sidewalk. And we were like, what the fuck? You know, like how weird. And then later, if you look up the news article, you can find it. This girl had come from like, I want to say like Mississippi or something. And she got hit by a car coming down this fucking road. Like the person that was driving was drunk, and they swerved onto the sidewalk and hit her.
Damn, is she all right?
That's fucking nuts.
No, she did not make it, Christian. That's why I said I was bringing us down.
Wait, she died?
Yes, she died.
Oh, wait, in Morgantown?
Yes, like a car drove onto the sidewalk. Like someone was drunk driving, and they drove onto the sidewalk and they hit her, and she like literally like her lanyard and a shoe was on the sidewalk, like kind of like a little bit of a distance from each other. And then like there was like a sharp drop, and then you know how there's like apartments.
Jesus, what?
Don't
Yeah,
drink and
and
drive.
she got thrown down that hill, and nobody stopped for her. Nothing. Like I guess someone found her or saw her laying
Dead?
with like her. Yeah.
That's
So wait, that was your
awful.
homie. She came to visit you?
No,
No,
I
no,
think
no,
she
no,
said
no,
a
no, no, no,
random
no.
a random girl.
Oh,
was
I
just a
thought you.
random
Oh,
girl.
I thought you were talking about your homie.
No. I was walking with my homie, and I saw this.
Oh my god!
But
So wait,
when
you
I
saw
say,
her
like,
die, basically.
Basically, yes.
Jeez.
Rest
And I
in
had
peace
no
to
idea
that
what I
girl.
was seeing until the next day there was a news article about it. And I was just like, holy shit. Like Morgantown, like you say like the amount of lawsuits they'd have if like they could have scooters and stuff. The amount of lawsuits that they already have.
Yeah, they
just from
probably
all
do
the
have a
drinking
lot.
and
Yeah,
shit.
they do. Dude, the
They-
slum
yeah.
lords down there, they can all go fuck themselves.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah,
My last landlord, not the one, like, not Bellcross, because Bellcross is actually a very good rental place to go through. Like, Bellcross properties, I do suggest if you need to move to Morgantown. But, I like had a Wilkins rental before that, and they were awful. My landlord took like $1,000 from me, and then told like his manager that I never paid it, and I was just like, what the fuck? But then my maintenance man, who was my landlord's brother, was like, no, she definitely paid him. I was there. I saw it happen. Like he scammed you. He pocketed that money, and I was like, what the fuck? It was bad.
that's why you need receipts nowadays.
Hey, I've got one
Oh.
more story to tell, and we're gonna end it on this note, but
Mhm.
we're gonna talk about old Ron.
My landlord.
No, it was our landlord. We both rented from the same people.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. Let's discuss Ron.
Let's
That's
fucking discuss Ron. So Ron,
okay.
Ron was a fucking weirdo, first of all. And if you look up his public record, you can see the charges that he has that would label him as such.
So how weird are we talking?
We're talking like a child predator.
He's a landlord, so we talking about
No,
like.
he technically he wasn't. I would say he's
He was
the
a rapist.
property manager.
Okay, was the property manager like putting some cameras or some shit in some
Amelia,
rooms?
you're the one that told me about this, so you go in about it.
Okay. Yeah. So I was going to say, like, should I tell my experiences with him? So, Tori and I had moved into this property in Morgantown, and we had these girls that it was like a house that was split into two. So, like, we had like the top half of the house, they had the bottom half, and basically, this one girl was like, dude, our landlord's so weird. And I was like, yeah, he's weird as shit. Definitely has like a staring problem and like kind of like smiles creepy and like would just make comments that weren't necessary. And then my downstairs neighbor one day came up and was like, Amelia, look at this shit. And she showed me public record that he was a rapist.
No fucking way.
Like broke into people's houses and raped them. And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And she's just like, no. And like it was like family or something that he had raped. And I was just like, and as well as like other people, there's like 4 different, no, excuse me.
I thought it was
He was
little
a teacher.
boys, wasn't it?
No, he was, yes, I think it was one of them was a boy, but he was a teacher. Excuse me for saying misspeaking. He was a teacher and these were his students.
This man needs to be still in jail.
Bro.
Right, right.
So,
So we find that out and I'm like, holy shit. So then a couple days later, he comes to get rent from me. And so like, as we had discussed, I was a stripper. And so I'm wearing like a pair of shorts and I'm like wearing like a big t-shirt. So it kind of covered most of my shorts, you know, kind of looked like I was just wearing a t-shirt. But so I get a knock on my door and I open it and it's my landlord came in person to get my rent. I was like, oh, okay. Hi. So, and I go and I give him my money and then he's like, can we talk? And I was like, what's up? And he was like, like, what's good, sir? And he was like, where do you work? And I was like, okay. And which he already knew because I had to put down where I worked on the rental application. I had to prove that I made money. And so I was like, I'm a stripper, so I have cash. So here's rent.
well, that's all he fucking cared about.
Right. So he was like, where did you work? Say you worked? And I was like, H2O. And he was just like, oh, I'd love to come see you sometime.
Yikes.
Well, I'm
And
sure
this
he
is
would.
after we had just found out he was a rapist. So then I guess shortly after we had found this out, he got arrested for peering into one of his tenants' homes through the window.
Bro, that
What the
motherfucker
fuck?
was persistent. Let me talk about
He
this
was-
though. This motherfucker Dakota, we are going to have him on the podcast for sure. Dude's a clown. But anyway, motherfucker Dakota was not paying his fucking rent at the time. And I really wasn't paying mine either, but that's besides the point. This motherfucker pulled up. He would pull up to the crib. Like times where he knew your ass was home. Knock
Right.
on the door. Dakota owed like $600, $700.
That's not that bad.
He walks down. Yeah, but the rent was only $300.
So 2 months and a fee or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
it might have been a little more than that. I don't know exactly. So this motherfucker Dakota goes down there. He looks at him. He goes, "Oh, I think I got a little bit of money for you. I'll give you what I have." This motherfucker Dakota, I swear to God, owes like $700-800. Goes upstairs, brings down $19 and some fucking change and gives it to him, bro. I swear to God, it is the funniest shit ever.
Hey, just put it on my tab.
This is all I got. I got you for $19.24 right here. Come back tomorrow. I'll give you the rest. But this is how it ended, though. This motherfucker Dakota owed like $1,000. He's like, "I'm moving out tomorrow." And I think I owed like maybe $500, something like that. It was like a month's rent or something, a month or maybe 2 months rent, so $600 at most. And I called my parents. I'm like, "Yo, just come get me. I don't want to live in Morgantown anymore. Like, this shit's old. Like, I ain't making no money. Like, this shit's not good for me. Whatever." So he comes the day before. He's like, I'm gonna need my money. And he's like, "Where's Dakota?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. I ain't seen him in a couple days." That motherfucker had done moved to Maryland. Whatever. I didn't want to tell him that. So, and another thing he did that was fucked up. So we had a roommate move out, just abandon the lease. So he fucking just moved in some random fucking dude named Steve. Do you remember Steve?
Yes.
Motherfucking Steve was the weirdest motherfucker I have ever met in my life, and I'm not even lying. So fucking weird. The dude was like 30 years old and didn't work and he had no money, broke as fuck. He ate my food and I had no food.
That's fucked up.
I know Christian used to come over to my house and eat my food because of it.
Bro, dude was so fucking weird. And he was, I swear to God, I have to find Steve somewhere because he was the weirdest motherfucker, one of the weirdest motherfuckers I've ever met. And trust me, buddy, the list is long.
Yeah, it's pretty long. I agree.
But anyway, he comes on the last day. I knew my sister and my stepmom were coming to pick me up tomorrow. So he goes, I'm gonna need my rent money, or we're gonna have to evict you. I said, I'll have it to you by Friday. This was on Wednesday. I said, I'll have it to you on Friday. Won't you come on by about 12:30? I said, I'll have all the money I owe you. Motherfucker, I packed up all my shit and left on Thursday.
What a dick.
Hey, it was what it was.
Kind
buddy.
of like that
Don was a
Verizon.
dick.
Oh, Don, that's it. His name was Don, not Ron. Sorry.
That's kind of like that Verizon bill you signed up for Morgantown that you're never gonna pay. You're
Oh,
gonna take that shit to
motherfucker,
the
I'm
grave.
taking that shit to the grave.
Fuck them.
They'll never see a dime of that money.
I feel it.
All right, so, well, it has been a fucking fantastic episode. This is comedy gold right here. And I just want to go ahead and tell you guys are going to be hearing from Amelia a lot in this podcast because she is an amazing guest.
Hello. Thank you.
For real, we can't wait to have you on again. We're definitely gonna have an episode 2 or some shit with you because I'm sure there's more topics we can touch on. But we did appreciate,
hell yeah.
having you on tonight. It was pretty amazing.
No, I had a great time. Thank you guys for having me.
I can't wait for the next episode, and I can't wait. Like we talked about this earlier, you need to come in with some more questions and insight from your gal friends, because they give us an awesome, it's a different outlook. It mixes everything up.
Right, you got the insider information for sure.
I got you guys. I'll try and actually what I'm going to try and do is get some questions from my girls of things that they want to know, and like opinions and things and topics that they want to touch on, because especially like some TikTok things that we've seen and where we'll sit there and send them back and forth to each other like, is this true? Like where the men give those little like,
oh, you know how much we love to talk about TikTok thoughts.
I mean, I'm sure we can touch on some TikTok subjects or men and what they do in general.
Well, on the TikToks, the men are like, oh, this is some things. Wait till women find out this kind of a thing. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, I got a couple questions, and I bet my girls do too. So.
All right, so we had a great podcast episode. I think we are going to play the song of the day, because I think we're about done here. This was an amazing episode, and I can't wait to see what happens in the future with this podcast, because I love it.
For real.
Thank you, Amelia. You're going to be on here real soon. With regular guests.
Your episode will probably come out on Friday, as we already have one planned for Monday, just for your future reference. So be on the lookout for that, and have all your girlfriends and listen and everything. Like I said, drop a subscribe or whatever, follow, have them follow. We'd appreciate all y'all's support, and we can't wait to have you on again.
All right, so for the song of the day, we have Lights On by Smart Death featuring Lil Aaron off of the new album. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but it's fire, so go ahead and listen to it.
It's Lights Off. Let's
Lights
get it
Off,
right.
my
Let's
bad.
get it right. All right, this is Lights Off. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy your week. Obviously,
Have a
this
good
is
day,
going to be out on Friday.
babies.
Enjoy your weekend. We can't wait to see you again on Monday.